talking to yourself and nobody's home. You can fool yourself. You came in this world alone. Hey guys, it is Carl Brown from GL365 Academy. Well, today is the day. Years ago, I did all of the lead guitar parts to this because it's my favorite Guns N' Roses track. It's mostly because of all of Slash's playing in the song, all the fills and solos and stuff. So I went through all that, and I was pretty involved. And I always said part 3, I would go back and do all the chords, even though a lot of them are on piano or whatever. And it's a long song, and it kind of wanders in all these different areas. And that's the reason why I avoided it. But I have finally, because you guys kept asking, broke down the chords of the song. Now let me tell you what I'm doing here. I'm not trying to play everything exactly like the guitars and the pianos and everything. I'm doing an approximation, obviously, whenever there's a piano part going on there. I'm just kind of doing a kind of a piano kind of reduction on the guitar. And a lot of the guitar parts are similar, but there's a lot of guitar layers and fills. But what I basically want to get down here is the actual chord structure, what's going on underneath it. Then you guys can do whatever you want with it. All right, so, but you'll be able to play the entire song, even the piano parts, so that's cool. And if you have somebody playing the guitar solos, sounds really cool. All right, so let's start here. So when I was singing horribly at the beginning of the track, first of all, we are in E-flat tuning, just like in the solos. And subscribe to the channel, please. I always forget to tell you guys to do that, and I just get railroaded for it. And ring that little notification bell when you do, and go to GuitarLessons365.com. All of these song lessons are really well organized there, all alphabetically, really easy to find any song, any artist. There's well over, I don't know, it's like 1,300 song lessons. And my Guitar Academy is there too, that hopefully you'll check out. All right, so let's start here. So we're tuned down a half step. Now we're gonna start with just in G minor. Now I'm gonna call it G minor, even though technically it's F sharp minor. But I'm going to call it like it's actually played on the guitar, but the guitar is obviously tuned down a half step, so it's going to sound like F sharp minor, but we're not going to deal with all that. We'll just call it G minor. So what's going on, that little piano part, the best way to kind of approximate it is going back and forth between a G minor chord and a G minor 7. So we play a G minor chord like this instead of like this. So it's a full bar at the 3rd fret, 5th fret on the A, and 5th fret on the D. And then, if you want to do kind of something similar to the piano, then you're going to place the 6th fret there on the B string, and then rotate back and forth. Just pick up the pinky. Nobody's home. Then it goes to a basic C major bar chord. So it's C at the on the 3rd fret there, on the A string, and then bar the 5th fret across the D, G, and B. And back again. You can fool yourself. You came in this world alone. I like that part. All right. So then the full band kicks in, and Slash has his first little solo part. And we're basically doing power chord versions of that. So it's just a G power chord. the C power chord. Then at the 45-second mark, I'm going to be telling you a lot of minute and second marks here, so because it's easy to get lost in this song. We have this different progression. So nobody ever told you, baby, how it was gonna be. So what'll happen to you, baby? Guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, Axl Rose is a better singer than me. I'm just gonna put that out there. So we're gonna have a B flat major chord here. So that's gonna be, this is interesting because the first one was off a G minor chord and then we moved to a G major chord in this next progression. So we have a B flat major chord. I play that my bars a lot with my pinky, because I like to feel the pain, but you could play it however you like to play these, that same chord, that same C chord we just did, it's just at the first fret. And then up to the third fret, back to that C, and then to a G major bar chord. So full bar at the third fret, fourth fret on the G string there, fifth fret on the D and the A. So let's just repeat that. What'll happen to you, baby? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then it's going to end with an E flat power chord. That's off the 6th fret there on the A string. 6th fret on the A, 8th on the D, 8th on the G. Then move it up. So 6th fret there, then move it up 2 frets to the F power chord. And then it goes 1, 2. So there's a lot of slash going on over that. So it's a really cool part. So we're gonna start up here at this G power chord at the 10th fret of the A string. So that's coming out of the 1, 2. G power chord, 10th fret, then 5th fret, D power chord. Then 3rd fret, C power chord. Try this. G, D, C. Then we're going to jump back up to that E flat power chord and that F power chord we did earlier. Kind of different rhythm there. So we had this. And repeat. Then we're going to kind of simplify the riff, just kind of let it ring a little bit. That G power chord at the 10th fret, straight to that E flat and F power chord. Just hit them once each. And again. All right, then we get to another little, just kind of piano only part. So I'm going to do an approximation of what's going on the piano there. So basically he's holding a G chord and he's moving the bass line down underneath it. This is at the 1 minute and 33-second mark. Sound like this. All right, so that's at the 1 minute and 33-second mark. So I'm doing this G power chord now with my middle finger there, the 10th fret on the A string. Then the pinky's playing the 12th fret on the D. So you're kind of playing those two notes. And then what you're gonna do, it's kind of a stretch. You're gonna just play 10 and 8 on the A string, still playing that top note too. So So just lay your index finger at the 8th fret there. So this. So singing and playing at the same time is not my strong suit. So we have this. So still leave this note here. You're going to go over. The bass note is now going to go to this E flat there. So I'm muting that A string there in the middle. And then we're going to continue that same process. The D, this 10th fret there on the low E string, down to the C, the 8th fret on the low E. Still with this note and the A string muted, so it is. And repeat. That's actually, this is the last chord, and then you start over. All right, so at the 1 minute and 55 second mark, we crank it back up again. I don't know how you're supposed to make it. I love more than you ask for it. Say that I never need you. When you took everything, you took everything. All right, so we're just going F power chord to the G power chord. Again. And then once again, after you've done that 3 times, we're going to end it with that E flat power chord and the F power chord. Then we had that same ending we did before with the slash solo. Then we're at the 2 minute, it looks like I got it, I can't tell if I got it written 2:35 or 2:30, but right around there, we have that young at heart, and it gets so hard to wait. That's that same little piano reduction I did. Guitar reduction of piano, that's a better word. But that same section. Let's do that again. And then at 2:56, we're back to the same thing we did at the intro. Just talking to myself, and nobody's home. And then back to some guitar solos, and we're back to the. So this is just like the intro to the song. And then once again, at the 3:18 mark, it goes back into those same chords that after the intro, we went into that B flat. That's B flat, C to G major. So what'll happen to us, baby? I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, so out of that, we just go to a C chord. You just play a C major chord if you want. This is the 3 minute and 41 second mark. And then we have a interlude section, a little musical interlude. A lot of piano stuff and then some random kind of guitar fills over it. Once this is one of these sections, I'm just really gonna focus on the underlying chords. And you can do what you want with it. All right, so this part looks like this. All right, so that's kind of an involved chord progression there. So let me see if I can simplify it. When he starts doing that, the little piano fills, that's just over a C major chord. So I was just kind of playing that C major bar chord we did at the 3rd fret, and then move it up to the 6th. And just kind of arpeggiate it a little bit. So after you've done that a while, it starts transitioning to the other part, but after this E flat to a B flat major chord. So that's just like the G major we did earlier, but up at the 6th fret instead of the 3rd. Kind of build off that chord. Then we have this part. All right, so I'm going to stop there. So I'm using more open chords at this section instead of the bar, because it kind of sort of sounds more like they're using more open chords here. The clean guitar parts as you start hearing with it. So that's the F major bar chord though, we played earlier, at the 1st fret of the bar, of the 1st fret there. Actually, I don't even know if we did that. So just in case, full bar at the 1st fret, 2nd fret on the G, 3rd fret on the D, 5th fret on the A. So it's just like that G major, just at the 1st fret. To a C chord, C major. So I'm just using the standard open position C, and then the standard open position G. And then to that B flat major chord again. And we just go between that and a C a few times. Then we get back to an F, but I'm going to do this kind of abbreviated F because of what's coming next there. So just that middle part, after we did that C to E flat, for a bit, and then ended it with that B flat, we go to this next section we just covered, which is the F, C, G. So just start there, and then just go B to C, B to C, B flat to C, B flat to C, B flat. So. All right, and now we get to that abbreviated F I'm talking about. So this is a pretty cool part. All right, so this part, we get to play some inversions, yay, and some diminished. So that F major chord, so it's just a bar at the 1st fret of the B and the high E, 2nd fret on the G, then 3rd fret on the D string. Then we're going to get to this B diminished triad in 2nd inversion. So it's got the F in the bass. So that's a 3rd fret on the D, 4th fret on the G, and 3rd fret on the B. Then we have another inversion. We're going to do that B flat, which is the 3rd fret on the D, G, and the B, but this F is in the bass. Now it's B flat in 2nd inversion. So it is. And back to that F. So from that F, and now we're going to continue on with the C to the G, and then the F. Kind of hold the F for a while. And then back to the C, G again. And then a long F again. And then it resolves to that C again. And then there's a cool little lick in there, which is just that you're playing a C chord, but you make it a little add 9 real quick by just adding with your pinky at the 3rd fret on the B string. Then back to the normal C. And then you strum it again, but kind of make the G string the top note. And then another big C chord. And then we're back to, I think this is at the 5-minute and 19-second mark I have. And we're back to, wanna find out all the reason, maybe I'll find another way, find another day. With all the changing seasons of my life, maybe I'll get it right this time. So that is, when I find out all the center G, using a lot of the open chords again. It's a 5-minute and 19-second mark. C, so G, F, C. You do that like 4 times. So. That's a little bit different timing there. All right, so it actually did it more than 4 times there, but it's going to repeat quite a bunch, just those 3 chords. All right, now we get to Slash's first main solo. Chords sound like this. All right, simple chords again. Just C, A minor, G, and then F held for a little while. Back to the C, and then we're going to skip to the G. So we're going to skip the A minor the second time around. That last one is just a C, hold it a little bit, and then you're going to strum it again. All right, so at the 6-minute and 32-second mark, we get to the, well, I jumped into the rain, too many times to make All right, so it's getting deep with these lyrics here. I seriously have 5 pages of lyrics sitting in front of me. I've never had this in my entire life. All right, so we are at 6:32. Well, I jumped into this. So center G to an F, I'm out here to a C. Back to the F, back to the C. All right, so now it changes kind of substantially the feel again. So we're going to kick in the distortion, but still a lot of open chords. We have this. All right, so that is just 653 mark again, A minor chord, to a G, to an F, back to the G. So you're gonna do that 3 times. And then the last time we start with the first 3 chords, but when we get to the G, we do this kind of chord sequence. So we have this, that. All right, so that chord sequence, E power chord to 7th fret there. So this is that right when you're getting ready to go to that last G. Skip it. So it is. Right here. So that's that 7th fret power chord off the A string to the 5th, and then 3, 1. Open A power chord to the G power chord of the 3rd fret of the low E. Hold that, and then take it to that C power chord 3rd fret of the A. Now, Flash's second solo kind of has these little volume swell things going on it, and we're gonna have some clean guitar parts underneath that, and then we'll kick in the distortion for the main solo. So it sounds like this. All right, so those first opening clean chords, just C to B flat, really, for a few times. Kind of do that 3 times. So after the 3rd time, just go to an F, kind of build up. Like kind of solo starts kicking in, and then we get to the power chords. C power chord, G, and F. Then C, G, again, C, G, and this time hold the F. And to the C. All right, so the heavy part again once again. All right, so we are finally cranking through the song. We're at the 8-minute and 21-second mark, and we had this part. I never found anyone to replace you. All right, so a little bit different there again. So we start with the G. I never found anyone to replace you. G to an F to C. G to the C. So G one more time. G, F, and C. Then there's that quick little G, F, C again. So it's just G, F, C, G, F, C. You know, G, F, C done twice. But the second group, the second GFCs are obviously different timing. So you really have to know the song well to kind of be able to pluck them, place them right where they need to be. And then there's a little bass line in there at the very. So that is just the open A string, the third fret on the low E, then the open E, and then into the C major chord. And from there, we're going back into the full band, the 8-minute and 40-second mark. It looks like this. All right, that last chord's on the piano. So we have that. It starts with this. Remember, it's the 8-minute 40-second mark. That's a C major chord, and then just play the. You lift up everything but the index finger, but play the second fret there on the A, with the open D and G in there. So and then we just get to that A minor, G, F. And then there's a quick move back to the G before you start back over the chord. So it's just that A, G, F, G. So you do that 3 times, and then the last time, once again, we don't play that G. We go into this little sequence. So that's just that E power chord to the D power chord. Hold that D a little bit. And then we have this little riff there, which is this 3-0 on the A, then 3-0 on the low E, and then to an F chord. And you'll end that with a C chord. All right, so you guys wanted it. It's a crazy song how it's laid out and got a lot of chord progressions in it, but I hope you now have it all down with the solos, because you've had years to do the solos, because I did those a long time ago. All right, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.